Hey, so I'm Joe Vetere. I've got about almost 20 years at this point experience in IT. Some days it feels a little longer than that than others. But I'm also a 3-time BetterCloud customer and have been on the platform since about 2011. I am not going to take my jacket off like Tom did yesterday because of the copyright infringement that's probably all over this presentation today. So I'm with Stumptown Coffee Roasters. We have over 20 locations across the country that do our roasting operations, support our cafes, as well as our HQ in Portland, Oregon. Like David said earlier, we're rapidly scaling right now, and we're trying to address a lot of our challenges with technology. But as you know, when you start a new job, this is my second month now, most of your end users are looking like this, trying to figure out how they can use the technology better to collaborate together, communicate, and address their problems, and they're experiencing a level of frustration. So there we go. But we can't solve these challenges the way we used to in the past. We can't just give them RSA keys and assume that their VPNs are going to be secure, or hand them a computer that's encrypted and make sure that they can, get to work on time as quickly as possible and be as effective as possible. Those solutions just don't scale with the velocity that we're scaling at right now. Things are moving faster and growing bigger than they have in the past. It's unprecedented how fast we're scaling right now, and we have to look for new solutions to these problems that are unique to all of us. There is no playbook written for the type of velocity we're experiencing. So 87% of companies right now believe that expansion is necessary for long-term success. That may mean that you're going through mergers and acquisitions. That may mean that you're moving into new channels or new markets. We need to learn how to support that better. We haven't been able to move as fast as the businesses have required us in the past. And by 2020, 50% of your workers, if not more, depending on your space, are going to be working remotely. That's already a perk that a lot of us in tech in the past have been able to leverage, but now it's expanding outward to every sort of role in your organization. So in 2009, when I moved to Portland, Oregon, I decided to start moving further away from the enterprise space and move more into the startup space, where we were going to experience some of that rapid growth and some of the speed and velocity and new challenges that hadn't been approached before. And I thought it was a great opportunity for change and to leverage some creative problem solving. But what I found was everybody had a credit card. Everybody was solving their problem on their own, and they were off and running, and IT was chasing behind them, trying to figure out how they could pick up the pieces and support them better. The problem with that is, though, you really don't have a clear idea of what everybody is doing and how they're leveraging technology right now. And neither do they. They're being handed a laptop, they're being told, go to work, get the job done, but they're not really being onboarded well. They don't have a clear idea how to collaborate with the other parts of the organization, and it results in attrition. People leave the company frustrated, pissed off, on to the next gig. So when I come in, I kind of like to assess things and try to calm everyone down and make sure that they understand that we're here to address their problems. We're not going to get it done in the first day, though. One person immediately suggested on a gig that I had that IT should follow them to every web conference that they were going to have in their conference rooms because they couldn't figure out how to get dialed in. So you really need to do the work and paint a picture of what your environment looks like. And you're not going to be able to do that alone. It's going to take time to build out those happy little trees and make sure that you understand all the pieces that are in your environment. Accounting can be your best friend in this process. They manage the expense reports. They'll be more than happy to support you in that. With that information, you're going to be able to clearly connect the dots of what's going on in your company and figure out where there might be some risks, where there might be some gaps, where you might have wasted money, wasted effort, and start to communicate that to people across your company so that they have a clear idea of what the problems are and how you can go forward together to address it. But people are resistant to change. Eventually, you're going to have to face off with some people that are resistant, and that's okay. It's good to have these conversations, but do it in person. Don't do it over email. Don't do it over chat. Have those interpersonal relationships with people in your company. They're going to be more willing to change and more willing to trust you in the future if you can do that. So that means you and your teams need to get up off of your chairs, get away from the keyboards, and actually go out there and talk to people in person. If you can, if your budget provides for it, go to your remote locations, fly out there, spend some time with people. Don't sit at your own desk all day in your own office. Go work with another team. You may be able to figure out new problems that they're having or new solutions to it. But those solutions aren't always going to be solved by throwing money at it. That's kind of the old way. That's what they were doing in the past with their own personal credit cards. You need to work through what their requirements are and what they need to move forward to be more effective in working together. And we're all in this together. So you need to feel comfortable bringing your problems up to people like the BetterCloud community, like other peers that you have out there in the field, as well as your peers in the organization. Bring them into the process of selecting the tools that you're going to use. You may not always get it right. There may be disappointment, but as long as they're with you, connected at the hip, picking those solutions, going forward with a plan, the disappointment's going to be minimized. You're going to be able to regroup and bounce back from some of those failures. And then in the in the unfortunate case that things do fall down and you're left trying to explain what the hell happened to your executive team, at least you've got support across the company. At least other people know and it's already been communicated, and you can do your best to explain to them how you move forward with a resolution of that problem. So my key takeaways today are: put in the effort to be transparent with your people. People are going to be resistant to change, but you have to nurture those communications and those relationships with people in order to move forward. You can get through that together, but it's going to take time and it's going to take effort on your part. And above all, remember to try and have fun. This doesn't have to be a serious job all the time. In fact, it can be whatever you make it. You're building a culture with your company and with your peers in your profession all over the place. So take the time to have fun. And don't forget that we are all in this together and we're all writing this book together. So, if I can ever support you, please email me. I'm the Joe on Better IT. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you have to. But I'm here for you. We're all in this together. Again, we're all writing this book together. Thanks to David and the BetterCloud team for putting this together.